Welcome to Core Finance, where I'm joined by David Galan, who is CEO at Zinc Media. How are you today, David?
Good, thank you.
You've got, we've had a name change here, exciting business. Tell us what the recent story is at Zinc Media.
Yeah, so we changed our name from 10 Alps PLC, really trying to make a break from the past that had a sort of pretty tempestuous history as 10 Alps. Really changed the business in the last couple of years. We've come out of all our publishing operations, which were heavily loss-making, and we've really got the business into the shape that we want it to go forward, which is primarily TV production.
And is there money in TV production? That's the big question, isn't it?
Well, it is if you make the right programmes, which we believe we do. We specialise in factual TV. Factual is a big genre, and we do everything from daytime telly to big landmark documentaries.
And I mean, this is for people. I mean, it sounds like a crowded marketplace and one where there's high risks, high rewards. How have you tipped, the odds in your favour? Let's say.
Well, it is a crowded marketplace, but we all watch more TV than we've ever done before. More TV, its availability, it's everywhere. You know, we watch on the train on the way into work. So although there's lots of people doing it, there's exponential demand.
And how have you decided to go for the factual stuff rather than the Downton Abbey or the Love Island type of route?
We've got a long track record and heritage in making factual programming. Each of our individual TV companies has been around for decades, and we're well known for being the best at what we do. We've won countless awards, BAFTAs, Griersons. So in terms of the quality of our product, we believe it's second to none.
So, from the investment angle, Zinc Media, presumably it's a minnow looking to grow. What are the other companies that you sort of look up to and say, in 5 years' time we're going to be like this or like that, so that people know sort of like where you're going or where you want to go? Yeah,
I mean, clearly there's some very big media players in the market, whether it's your ITVs or your Skies, who have been consolidating up the industry. We see ourselves as a consolidator. So we're looking to buy up like-minded TV businesses. For us, scale is pretty important. Not only does it de-risk our business to an extent, it also enables us to cover different genres within factual that we're not already doing. So we're looking to grow, and that will be a mixture of acquisitions and organic growth.
And is the upside in factual as big as it can be? And I mean, I'm just thinking like Entertainment One, Peppa Pig or something like that. Is the upside in factual as big as it can be in non-factual?
Yeah, I think so. If you look at what people are watching, everyone knows about Netflix and Amazon, for example. One of the big shows on Netflix in the last year was Making a Murderer, which was a multi-part documentary. People are watching factual.
Right. Now, how do you decide what to make and what not to make? Well, it's a $64,000 question, but how do you decide?
I mean, often our programmes are access-led, so we have a reputation for getting access to stories and to people that other companies might not easily access. A good example that's pretty newsworthy is we made a programme earlier this year about Lady Lucan. Who obviously died a few days ago.
You've stolen my idea. That was timely, obviously.
Yeah, and it's all about getting the access. We were nominated for a BAFTA earlier this year for a program we made about President Obama called Inside Obama's White House. Again, not every company will be able to get access to people like that.
Right. I mean, one of the other things that investors look at before deciding whether to press the buy button is the management, the experience of the management. It sounds as though you're able to open a few doors. Can you give us a rundown on
that? In terms of my background or experience?
Yes, exactly.
Sure. So I'm an accountant actually originally, and then spent some years in investment banking. Each one of our divisions has its own MD, so they run semi-autonomously. And we believe that's the best way in a creative business to get the best out of our people.
So each division is a profit centre in its own right?
Each division is a profit centre and has its own management, yeah.
Right, and you spoke about acquisitions. How aggressive are you going to be on that front? And how aggressive do you need to be?
We made our first recent acquisition 2 years ago, a company called Reef Television, which specialises in daytime. We're looking to do more this year, and I'd like to think that within the next 12 months we will have completed one, if not more.
Right, and finally, just the 3 points for people to focus on in terms of Zinc Media. What do you think what are the most compelling points as far as what you're doing and what you hope to achieve?
Yeah. So we see ourselves as one of the leading British independent TV production companies. We make absolutely incredible content, which is on television pretty much every night of the week. We're growing, we're good at what we do, and we think we're in a market that is only going one way, which is upwards. TV on demand is everywhere. We're a content producer, and content producers are much in demand.
And you think that is it the mobile area which has really fired all this up now?
I don't think it's necessarily just mobile, it's TV on demand, and the way that consumers consume TV content is very different to what it was a couple of years ago. We all watch much better quality TV, bigger budget stuff, and the days of reading a newspaper on the train home to decide what you're going to watch that evening, I think, are long gone. So the trend is definitely bigger budgets, bigger productions, higher quality, which is very much our sweet spot.
David, I mean, one of the key points in any company is profitability. How are you fixed on that area?
So we've just announced our preliminary results for the year ended 30th of June 17, and I'm pleased to say that we've returned to profitability for the first time in 7 years. So we're feeling pretty good about that and hoping to build on that strongly in the next 12 months.
How much of that can you credit to yourself? Is it you turning things around?
I'd like to say it's all my doing, but I've got a very good team, so it's a team effort very much.
And I mean, is that to do with, I mean, just focusing on what's core and what's, I mean, central to your ethic in terms of the company?
It's a combination of being very good at what we do in our core business, which is TV production, and coming out of all the bits of the business that weren't performing very well, which were namely publishing.
And thank you to David Galan, COO at Zinc Media, for joining us today.
Thank you.